Hello and welcome back to Europa. I'm Mick. We're playing Stationeers, and we are on Europa. Little bits of Jupiter disappearing into the dark. But we are back in our bubble dome base now. In between episodes, I have just done a little bit of moving stuff around. I've moved the kitchen from here to here, and put in a canning machine because we've been doing some cooking. Chickens are still alive. Our plants have gotten, they've gotten quite nice. The garden's growing very nicely. They've gotten over their unhappiness. They're thriving. And thriving. Yep, we're all good, moderately. Apart from that one, we're all happy. That one's just depressing. Hey, I think something just got picked. But we have got the gardens growing for now. They've had a little while. It is day 125, so they've had a few days to get over what they were doing, what they were getting wrong. Yeah, we're picking. Never mind the see-through swimming pool there. I put in the wall there so you can't see the water. And as long as you don't go around the corner, it's fine. But Larry is picking stuff away. I've got a heap of spare seeds coming in now. I can make chocolate cake. I could make chocolate cake. I've won the game. We've got our environmental controls set up. I've put in some vents. So the vents here are connected to vents here and here and here. And that allows the base to stabilise its temperature from one end to the other a bit easier. Because it takes a long time for gas to slowly migrate and mix through the base. But it goes through a pipe instantaneously. So if I hook up all these points together and to here and to here, all connected via an instantaneous pipe, the base will equalise a lot better on what's in it. But that's where we're at the moment. As I say, we can win the game. We've pretty much got our survival done. I need, for a victory condition, I need a chocolate cake. I need milk. Where the hell do I get milk? I think you go into there. And we get chocolate. I need sugar, which I should have from my sugar cane. There's my cocoa. I should have sugar in there. There it is. And not much, but it'll do. You go into there, you become sugar. And the other one was milk. That's enough sugar. How the hell do I make milk? Chemistry station. Oh, not the chemistry station. I haven't got one of them. Okay, so we're going to make a chemistry station. And come out of here. One of them. I guess I don't need the microwave anymore. So I got the big oven to take over from the microwave. You go over there somewhere. And I'll take a chemistry station when it's ready. But in the meantime, how Amy's going? Amy doesn't seem to be working super well at the moment. She's ran around for a little while picking up stuff and then just kind of started wandering around in weird circles. By weird circles, I mean not actually circles, just general weirdness. But if we set you going again, that should make you wake up. Green, you're unloading. Okay, fair enough. And orange, you're unloading too. Well, good on you both. Let's see if a reload set helps her get back into mining or whether she's just going to go out there and wander around in circles. I don't know what caused it. She worked fine at the start and then kind of got dumb. They're both off and we'll see how they go now. New day, we'll see what happens. Our airport's still there, but I've got my seed, so I don't really need that anymore. All right, now, what we're going to do today is try and see if we can get ourselves rockets. We set up our stuff for getting rockets, our fuel. That's what it is, the stuff that runs rockets. And boop, grab you, and boom, so there. Now, I needed made from oil. I think all my oil's in there. I don't have any oil in the fridge. Okay, so I've got to make some more oil. So I need some soy to make oil. And phenoxytone is the ferns. There we go. Now I need, coming up in the chemistry station, I needed 5 oil, 5 phenoxytone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should get me milk somehow. You two still good? 2 wheat, 27 wheat, you're good. And we have milk in there. And that gives us our victory condition. Oh yes, we have defeated the game. Eventually. But I've just been eating all the leftover food from the other machine there. So I didn't want it to go to waste, so I made it into any old crap. And it's not been making me that happy. But bing, a lovely floor cake. I'll just lick that and put it in the fridge so no one else will pinch it. Yummy cake. Now, we are safe. What we're doing there. How is Amy doing? Are you running around in circles or are you mining? You're both moving. You're set to mine. And I think you're just running around in circles. Oh. Okay. Well, let's see what we've got. Is that the ground penetration? Yep, that's what we want. Well, let's go and find out what's going on with stupid. Oh, she did mine. Just mine something then. But she just seems to do this running around in circles thing. There's plenty of stuff underneath her and she's just not mining it. It's not down real deep. So it's not like it's too deep for her, but she just run around in circles. I've got no idea what's going on there. So you've got surface stuff and you seem to be mining it okay. Well, you are now that I've gotten close. Is that all you're doing now is just mining the stuff that's sticking through the top and nothing else? See, that's what you should be doing. Right, just picking up the ones that are closest to the surface. Yeah. And you've ignored everything that's just a little bit below and gone to the other ones which are sticking up. I think Amy's mining depths might be not quite right. But I mean, going around in circles is just strange, because if she can't find anything, she should just return to base. Now that one wasn't close to the surface. Okay, weird. Now, let's say we've got everything pretty much solved in the way of survival, and on our previous playthroughs, we've pretty much left it at that one and sort of said, yeah, we've achieved survival. That's all we wanted to do. But on Europa, we're going to go a bit further. We're going to have a look at rockets because, well, if you want to start with rockets, Europa is a very good place to do it, because the easiest rocket, well, I think the easiest rocket engine to use is the pumped liquid rocket. And making liquid rocket fuel is very easy on Europa. So far up to this point, we've probably been just kind of working around phase change and not really dealing with it. At this stage, all we've done is just sort of, if something's not right, or if something's likely to liquefy or give us problems, we've just chucked a condensation drain on the pipe and just let all the liquid run away and not give us any troubles. We've not really tried to use it for anything. So it is one of the harder concepts to learn in the game. So this is a good place to start with it. So as our first one, we are going to start by learning how to condense items. We're not going to worry about evaporation. We'll save that for another time. So we'll just do half of the phase change. Well, I suppose we did a bit of phase change by bringing up the carbon dioxide ice, but this time we're liquefying it. So I probably didn't really say what we're doing here, but I just wanted to get it down in a hurry so as we could use the stuff. But we find that our gases, oxygen, we have our diagrams here, phase change diagrams. So basically, this is your pressure, increasing pressure and increasing temperature. At a high temperature, it's going to be a gas, always. It's a gas, it says there. But at a low temperature, it becomes a solid. In between, we have a transition where we go to a liquid. Now, the liquid will depend on either the pressure, it's got to be a high enough pressure and a low enough temperature, but not too cold to freeze. And if the pressure's too low, it's not enough of it there to actually turn into a liquid. Whereas this curve here is what we want to do. It says down the bottom there your temperature and your pressure. And as you move along it tells you where it crosses on that one here. But we are at outside, we're minus 149 degrees. So we can sort of say on there, look, move it along, yep, 149 degrees minus. If we pressurize the gas to more than 1 megapascal or 1019.3 kilopascals, it will turn into a liquid. And that's basically what we're doing here. So we're just taking the oxygen from outside, sucking into here to a pressure until it reaches 1 megapascal, and then allowing it to drain through the liquid valves, and we have liquid oxygen over here, which is what we want. Now the volatiles, we were crushing it. It was coming in at 0 degrees. So it went into these pipes at 0 degrees. We exposed it to the cold atmosphere. So once again, volatiles also has a different curve here. So minus 149 degrees. Once again, it will turn into a liquid, but it only takes 165 kilopascals. So you don't have to pressurize that as much, but they're important things to know. So some gases, if we sort of say like, go carbon dioxide. Where are you? There we go. At minus 149 degrees, it's just a solid or a gas. The liquid can't exist at that temperature because it's got to be between minus 54 and minus 9 degrees to actually exist as a liquid. So we can't just expose CO2 to the atmosphere and expect it to survive for long. Anyway, that's what we're doing here to collect our liquid hydrogen and our liquid volatiles. As I say, this is an easy place to experiment with that and learn how to do phase change. So we have to collect it as a gas, pressurize it. We have our liquid drains, which are these things here, condensation valves. They allow the liquid, only the liquid, to pass from the gas pipe into the liquid pipe and not back again. And so we have these in here. It's minus 144 degrees. These are all uninsulated tanks, so that will cool down eventually, but there's a lot in there, so it'll take a long time. And it has 1.39 megapascals of vapor pressure in there. Now the pressure that's in there is not the liquid pressure. Liquid pressure is not calculated in this game, so it's just something you've got to get your head around. That is the vapor pressure. Same on the other side. It's minus 143 degrees. With 246 kilopascals of vapor. Now, the reason I like the liquid engines on these ones here is because they only pump the liquid and that's all. It ignores the vapor. So it makes it a lot easier to use. But this is the rocket we've got. I've just been experimenting with a little Tetris to try and fit everything in here, and it has worked nicely. I have managed to fit everything. There's not a spare block in there anywhere. Everything is cable, pipe, fuel tank, other bits and pieces, batteries, and it is all completely solid all the way up to here with not a single spare bit of space, which I think is pretty cool. It doesn't really matter that I've done that. It's just I'm happy with that accomplishment, and I'm a nerd. I like accomplishments like that. And anyway, so what we have here is we've put the rocket together. We put down the launch pad first, which is here. They take ages to print, so I've got another one because I'll want to do another rocket, one for mining. First thing we've got to do is put down a engine mount. It's one of them. We need to put down our engine. So I've got the liquid engine printed out, which is this one there. You can pop it in any direction you want. And it goes there. So I need some pipes to finish it off, which I should have there, and some steel sheets, I think. That's not many pipes. I hope that's enough. It is enough. We're good. And welder. And that looks finished. And we can close up the fairing as well. Now we're going to build our rocket inside the fairing. That's the wrong one. Try that one. So we need more fairings. Is that really all I've got? Well, I'll need more of them, and they take ages to print too. But a few different ones there. It doesn't really matter which one you pick, just pick one. Now, yeah, that'll probably do us for now. We want a tower, launch tower, 2 of them. Is that all we got? You can put your tower away from the rocket or right next to it. I like to put mine right next to it. It looks a bit weird if you launch towers too far away, but maybe there. I'll try it there. If I don't like it, I can move it. Right, so we need the launch tower because we need to get fuel into our rocket, and we need umbilicals to do that. Did I have more pipes? I do have more pipes. Don't panic, I've got more pipes. That's one of the first things I like to put in is the fuel tanks. Now a rocket has got to have, well basically fuel. It's got to have a flight controller, and it's got to have a data link. and it's got to have batteries. So I like to put all them in the bottom. If I can get everything to fit in there, I can change what's at the top and not have to touch anything that's at the bottom. But I have to get to the power, I have to get to the two fuel inputs. So what I shall do is if I link up, here's enough to put in a couple of tanks to there, and another one to there. Now my umbilicals, oops, other ones, just hook on like that. Now the other side of it, if we use our mouse wheel, we get to the umbilical receiver, which is at that height there. Switch it on, the little umbilical connector moves across to connect to that one, so we know it's done right. Can I connect that? No, I have to power it up first. Anyway, but I can only put one of them at each level. So I can't put the other one directly onto here. So I will have to put that on at a different height. Now I do have a right angle connector and I have a straight one. So I'll put the right angle connector onto that one. So that way I can put the other one. Which way are you facing? That one's the right way. Oop, and that one moves across to face the other one. So that allows us to get our fuel into both of them. Okay, so Amy Orange is doing the thing. Amy Green has just wandered around until she's fallen asleep. There you are. He's stuck on the light. Moron. Okay. Shouldn't have even been over here. You're not even trying to move. Okay, something wrong with you too. Stay. Right, now, where were we with our rockets? Now, we have our rocket tanks. Rocket tanks, I can put them down as the small ones or the large ones. Now, we've only got a 3x3 space here to work with, so I find the large ones are a bit of a pain in the ass to work around. So I just tend to go with the small ones, give them one each, just so we've got a data port to connect to, so as we know our fuel and pressure in our tanks. The rest of them I just like to do with our normal fuel tanks. Now, as I say, the Tetris I got with that one over there was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that one, so I'll probably just repeat that one because, well, I'm going to have to... Oops, that's not a car. Pipe. I'm going to have to at least run this one on the same fuel. This will be a mining rocket, but the mining rockets are a lot heavier, so I kind of like to see if I can run it on oxide until I find some NOS, and then I'll mine some NOS and bring that back for what we want to do. And then our rocket will have a bit more lift and I'll be able to, well, lift more. But we put you on top there. I think if what I did with that one is I moved you into there and I can connect into both of them there, because I've got to hook up to the rocket controller. I need to hook up to my two tanks and I need to be able to put my batteries. It's just a Tetris I use. I found if they fit in quite nicely if I just put them in the front here. But that leaves me with a spot down here and a spot over here, which we can't have that because that'd be empty space and that'd be worth wasting it. I put on a connector there and a connector there. Fortunately, I have an avionics system which has to go somewhere, and that is just a 1x1. just has to hook to power, so that can go to there. And I have a data uplink, which is that one there, which can hook onto there. And that is now a solid chunk. Now we need to finish those two off. We shall be back with our electronic parts and our steel sheets. Oops. So if I screwdriver, no, cable coils. Now electronic parts. Oh, no, that's not electronic parts, it's that one. There you go. You get electronic parts, and you are there. And now I need avionics welded up. Avionics is fixed. You're finished. We're good to go on them. So I have my fuel hooked up. Pick whichever one you like. It doesn't matter which is which. For the sake of consistency, I'll do it the same as the other one. So that is the oxygen, and volatiles will be that one. Come on. Oh, I can paint that. All right. Now, did I have batteries? Am I still completely unorganized? Batteries. I do have batteries. Miners and shoot umbilicals. Okay. Now, batteries are rather awkward. Well, I suppose the medium batteries like these ones here are awkward. We do have the small ones, but they don't have much power. So I'm going to go the medium ones. Now they do, because they do have 3 connections, one top, one bottom. So by the time you put the connections top and bottom, that'll make them 4 wide, so they can't sit sideways in the rocket. They've got to sit vertically. The power goes in at the bottom. If I turn them around that way, I can have the data port connecting to the existing cable there. That'll do. Is that what I did over there? No, it's not. It's different. I'll copy it because it worked. Move you over to there. Okay, so I think I need cable coils. 2 batteries should be enough. And electronic parts, I think it was. You do use a fair few electronic parts, so get used to it. And now, so I need my umbilicals, which I brought. It's a shoot umbilical. Power umbilicals is what I want. But our power connections will go onto there. And our umbilical join into there. And we have a cable coming up. Where'd I put that? On that side. Onto there. Which can join to the... Oh, I've run out of fuselage. It just says it's unsupported there, so I've got to now grab another fuselage which I've got there to extend my rocket upwards. And I'll probably put one with doors on there so as I can change my rocket heads easily. Now I should be able to connect you up to the batteries. Right, I need my power connectors too. Alright, let's go back inside again. You were switched off. Where did... Right. Okay. Now you're back. I was sure I switched you off. Go there. You are definitely switched off. And you seem to be doing your thing, so I'll let you keep going. All right. Here we go. Now, the input for the cables, the charging ones for the batteries, as with the... where's my umbilicals? I didn't bring them. Idiot. Now the other one's gone. Oh, there you are. Okay, now our umbilicals. Once again, we've got a power one, same as the gas connectors there. We've used the heavy cable on the inputs because once you're trying to charge from a battery to another battery, it's going to put through a fair bit of power. So we've got the heavy cables onto there, and we need to put our, once again, our power connector. Which way are you facing? That way. Now that one's in the middle, so it's not going to move anywhere to tell us it's in the right position. But it looks about right. Amy's have come back. That's good. Now I can just add extra fuel tanks in there as need be. So, we're going to need more volatiles than we will oxygen, because we'll do a bit of math, a bit of rocket science, and we'll figure out how much we need. But if I hook on a you and you and you, that's probably getting pretty close to where we want to be. It's you and on. And they'll be all our volatiles. Now we've only got three tanks there for the oxide, and we've got a crap load more for volatiles. Now normally we'll say you want a 2-to-1 ratio there, but that's a molar ratio. We're not dealing with moles at the moment. We're dealing with litres, because these will pump in litres, not in moles. The engines will pump based on litres. Well, when you're pumping any liquid, when you're pumping gases as well, it's based on litres, not on moles. But the burn rate of the engines will be based on moles. So we want a 2-to-1 molar ratio. Probably go inside and do some rocket science. We'll just wait for the storm out here, we'll be fine. Now, I'll grab my spreadsheet out because I'm doing rocket science. Yeah. Okay, because now that we're working in litres, we need to once again do our rocket science and do some maths. We find our, not that one, we find our volatiles. We find our liquid volatiles. Now, we find that on here, we find the moles per litre is 25 moles per litre. So 1 mole is 0.04 litres. Makes sense? And oxygen, which would be the liquid variety, what we're using is actually 33.3 moles per litre. So 1 mole is 0.03 litres. Now we want to get a 2-to-1, so we shall need 0.03 litres of oxygen to 0.08 litres of volatiles. which gives us a ratio litres to give us a molar value of 1 to 2. We need a litre volume, a litre ratio of 1 to 2.66. So if I grab grab the right one of them. Here we go. If I look at my tanks there, I have 560 litres in the pipes and the inline tanks, and a further 250 litres in the actual tank. Which means if we've got another 250 litres in this one, I will be wanting to have 2,733 litres in here. I've got nowhere near enough. Well, so much for actually fitting all of that in there. So I need to add more. Or have I not connected? No, that's all connected. So I need to actually add more volatile tanks in there than that. Well, fair enough. Now, I have set up a little control panel here. And everything is connected for basically, I think, everything I'll need. So I'll have a connector there to connect up the gantries to the rocket. So they're disconnected at the moment. So we'll use that to connect them up. And what I want to do here is have a fuel setting. So I can just sort of set that to, let's say it goes up to 9. So it'll go up to 90%. So if I set that to 5, it'll want to fill that to 50% capacity. That's what I'll want. So I've got some inline pumps here, which will then pump from the tanks into the rocket. I think when you're working with liquids there, it's not based on pressure. It's based on the volume that it's full. Now, normally with liquids, you'd expect it to have to completely full down here as you pump up to there. But no, if this is half full down here, it'll be half full up there as well. So don't expect gravity to change the way liquids work here. Because, the liquids do run uphill in this game. It'll just be way too much processor time to calculate the pressure head of the liquid there. So they just haven't bothered. But that's something we've got to work with there. So all we need to know is if this tank here is 50% full, then the rocket will also be 50% full. So I've got a little measuring pipe meters here, and they should be able to tell us what is what as well. Now I've got a chip just there and a computer so as I can switch everything on. We're good to go. When we hook up the gas, try and charge the battery, it's going to drain the power really quickly. So battery should be fine. If I switch that on and extend that, it has plugged in there and it should be charging the batteries. And it'll be draining our battery really, really quickly. I suppose the first thing we want to do is switch them on, and I shall get the switch to extend the lever. Do I want to do that yet? Probably not yet. Let's just get them running on here. So I need to read the dial and read from the pipe analyzer. If there is less fuel in there than what is wanted, we need to switch it to that direction. There's more fuel over here. Switch it back the other direction. And there's a storm. Awesome. Can I use a computer in the storm, or do I blow away? I can use it. It used to blow away as soon as you did that. We're good. Okay, I can work out here in the storm. So now I want to know about them. And I'll probably need to name them. So let's set the oxygen analyzer and the oxygen pump. Now I shall want to know So I'll need to know the dial, and I shall need to know the meter. If I do this for the volatiles as well, I'm going to run out of things really quickly, aren't I? Okay, so let's maybe skip the meter for now. So I shall alias the O2 pump, and I shall alias the O2 analyzer. Grab you to R0, try D0, D1 and D2. Start yield. I shall load into R0 from the dial. The setting, I think it is. That should just give us a number. We'll give us a ratio. Okay. Save to dB. Setting R0. Start. Export U. I shall be careful not to drop anything in the storm. And so I need the dial. Computer. Logic dial. Alright, switch you on 5. So it actually gives us a value 5. So I should want to divide that by 10. Divide R0 10. So that'll give us a number between 0 and 1 on how full we want it to be. Okay, so now I need to know what is actually in the pipe. So I'll load into R1 from the O2 analyzer. Now, I don't think the pipe analyzer has a ratio field. I think I've just got a volume and a volume of liquid. Yeah. So I want to know what volume is actually filled. All right. Total volume. That wasn't right. It was just volume, wasn't it? Volume and liquid, right. That's just volume. That's the volume of the pipe. And load into R2 from the O2 analyzer, the volume of liquid. Let's just shush you up for a little bit. Okay, so now if I divide the volume of liquid by the total volume, so divide R1 equals the volume of liquid, which is R2, divided by the total volume, which is R1, it should give us the ratio of gas that's actually in there. So now we want to know the difference between what we want and what's actually in there. Let's just say R0 equals what we've got minus what we want. Let's go the other way around then. So R0 minus R1. So if we want 60 and we've got 50, that'll give us a positive value. And it'll either be positive or negative. Now the pump can't take a negative number, so we'll have to test for that. So let's say set greater than 0, set R1 if the difference is greater than 0. And we shall save to the O2 pump mode. I think that controls which way it goes, which will be R1. Now we still have the difference in R0, so that's the number we still need. So we set our mode to R1. Confirm. Now if I export you, I have an error because I haven't set the pump. There we go. All right, try again. We're on. Now it has changed to pump into that direction, so we know that there's more than what we want in there. Let's put in a little bit of stuff into there. So it's 100 litres out of 530, so we're sitting at about 20%. So we were asking for 50%, and it's pointing that way. If I turn that back down to 10%, it's now switched to go the other way. So that's working for us. So we've actually got it pumping in the right direction now. So now we want to set the pump. We'll put in a P controller to set the speed of it. So I don't want it going full speed if there's only a little bit needed. Put in a P controller. So that is how far away we are from where we want to be. That's basically our P controller done. So that's either a positive or negative value. So I want to take the absolute value of R0. So if it's negative 10, it becomes 10. If it's positive 10, it stays as 10. And we shall save to pump the setting R0. Confirm, export you. And the pump is at 1.22. I switch that on. Okay, you're going very slowly. So that's got to be a number out of 100. So maybe I want to actually bump that up by a bit. So we shall multiply R0. Let's give it 10. Probably be more than that, but let's say 10. So up to 1.2. So that's still pretty slow. Okay, I probably don't want it going full speed, but let's give it a 50, not 100. Okay, so very slowly getting to where it wants to be. Okay, cool. Now, if I can grab a dial, let's call you oxygen. Oxygen. And let's have the oxygen gauge. I'm out of battery. Right, let's oops, retract you for a minute then. Right, stop charging that. I'm going to run out of power. Okay, so I shall want the O2 gauge, which is 326981. Alias the O2 gauge to R10, and we shall move into R10U. Now we read the volume of liquid, divide it by that, that gets us our ratio, so I shall save to the O2 gauge setting R1. So you're pumping into there and slowing down as we get there, and so the gauge is pumping up. It's getting to 20%. Okay, that's good. That's doing the right thing. Now you are sitting there at 0, but you're still running. So maybe I could switch that thing off once it gets to where it wants to be. So I have my setting, and I could just basically set that to, well, if it's less than 0.1, so set less than, set R0 if it is less than 0.1, no, we'll say set greater than, because we want the pump to be switched on when the ratio is more than 0.1 away from where it's supposed to be. And save a pump on, yes, it's O2 pump. O2 pump on to R0. And then we can say select R0 based on R0. If it's on, color dot red. If it's off, color dot green. And I can save to the O2 gauge. Come on. O2 gauge color R0. Export that. And we've got a green light. So we switch to, that should have switched off, which it has. If I switch that to 30%, it goes red. You switch on. I don't want to wait till that gets to 0.1. Oh, there we go, off. And green to say it's filled. Okay. So now I just need to copy that to the volatiles as well. Okay, so come back to 0. It's switched back on again and it's sucking the gas out. Excellent. So now I need to copy all that for the volatiles. Back in a minute. There we go. Okay, they are set up. We have green lights. I switch it to 10%. They both switch on. Both in the right direction. Both working. Okay, you switched off and you switched off. Right. Okay, happy with that now. Now I just need to switch and the gantries to close. So I'll put that to the big lever onto there and we shall be good. So alias the lever to device 5. So load into R0 from the lever. Now let's say open. Open save batch. Let's set it to everything. So I shall need to define umbilical. These ones here. Umbilical power. Or shoot. Yep, shoot will do. Well, you know, the same thing. Right, so those ones there. So when we do that, we'll just batch write all of them. Save batch. Open R0. I export that. They're all disconnected. If I say boop, they should all connect. Ha, sweet. And power and both gas connectors are done. Nice. So that has connected it. I should better say fill to 20%. And yeah, that's pretty slow. We're just getting there. Okay, now I can just double check how many moles we're getting in there. It will tell us on the computer, which is this doodad here. I have not got the card in there. So that has switched off. We are good. We have in there, I have 49.5 litres. Where's my spreadsheet? Got 111 litres in that one there. Now they're both filled to the same percentage, so I should have the same amount in here, which I do. I have 329 into there, which gives us 2.35. That's not as far off, as I thought it would have been. I said we needed almost twice as many tanks there. So let's just get them out of the way. Wrong one. Put that one away. And how much more tank can we fit in here? If I had some tanks, it'd probably help. Oh, here's some. And let's hope I don't need all of them. So I need an extra 0.6. At 49.1, we have 425. That actually gives us a ratio of 2.9. So that was too much. All right, so if I... 2.6, we're at... Okay, so that shouldn't be pumping back out, which it is. You switched off. 2.65, that's not bad. We want 2.66. So we should call that one about right. So we've got 3 tanks there to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Basically 8 tanks. And that works. Okay, so if I put my scanners back in, nope, nope. You can connect onto there, and it's just the wrong height. I won't better reach my scanner heads. I probably can from in there. As long as it doesn't pop through the fairing, we'll be okay. It's going to stick through the fairing. Okay, well, if I take off my pointy rocket fairing and put on the knob rocket fairing, then it shouldn't stick out. Yep, up one. There we go. You. There you go. And I can fit my 4 scanners in there. Because I want 3 for scanning and 1 for the map. Put on scanner head for you. Scanner head for you. Scanner head for you. And a deep scanner for you. Or if you're worried about your OCD, yeah, I can put all the same there in a row. I feel so much cleaner now. That, I believe, is all we need. I'll switch you on. Switch you on to there. Do that. I should be able to open that up. Change my printer heads. Scanner heads. Alright, now we're connected. I can fuel up. And now let's fill you up to... Oh, wrong way. Fill you up to... I suppose I shouldn't fill you all the way up for a static fire, should we? That'll do. Now I needed a printer card and data link. Data link would be good. Somewhere to put the data link would be good too. Yeah, planned well. Let's put you, say there. I need probably a welder, cable coils, and electronic parts. Yep. No. Screwdrivers needed. And steel sheets. Right, so this will link my ground station to the little transmitter that's in the rocket. Give me one short. What's a bet? Nope, too short. Wow, it's good that the usual thing didn't happen, isn't it? So, rocket control motherboard. In you go. I have no detected rockets. That's right, I had to wire it up. Now, we have a rocket, which we can connect to rocket downlink or rocket downlink. I had two of them connected, didn't I? Well, I'd better name it. Now, if I connect you up to survey rocket downlink, we're going, we're good. And I can look to there, look at our rocket. We have all of our information there. Get rid of the old. It's run out of fuel. It hasn't run out of fuel. It has depleted batteries. The battery's at 100%. Now, we have 1.4 or 14,000 mole of oxidizer and 26,000 moles of volatiles. Doesn't quite go to the 1 to 2 which we thought there, but I don't know if I trust those numbers there. They seem a little bit off. Maybe we should name the rocket. That might help. There you. Yeah, so it's the other one that's out of fuel. This one's okay. That's all right. Now, we find that our pump liquid engine is this one here. We have a throttle. We have a ratio. I'll star that one to bring that number to the top, which is our setting, I should say. We'll take that one to the top. And the ones that are greyed out are ones we can't control. The ones that are darker there are the ones that we can control. Anyway, we will go to the top and get rid of you. So our setting is set to 70. Now that is a measure of how much you're taking from each of the pumps. So it's set to 70% is pumping from one input, and the 30% is coming from the other. Now, we wanted a ratio of a 2.65 to 1, which comes out to not 70, but 72.7. So 70, the default setting you get is actually pretty good. So I can just, if I have no destination set, I can just do a static fire on the ground. Which is going quite nicely there. So if we look at that one there, we're getting 6.53 kilonewtons of thrust. Switch that off. Fire. Now, we don't know, because the two inputs aren't actually labelled, they're just called connection and connection. I don't know which one's which. So I don't know if that's going the right way. So if we put that to, so that was 5.56. If I flip that around and put that to 30, and then hit it again. Okay, now we're getting 17.9. That's going a lot better. So I'd say I had them hooked up the wrong way. But now we don't want to approximately exactly 30. Our actual number is 27.2. Right, so that was 17.9. We're now 18.6. And that should be about as close as we can get it. Fire. Right, and also we can look into the exhaust. So what's coming in our combustion? We can look at the ratio of liquid volatiles and the ratio of liquid oxygen. Now if we put that back to 30 where it was, fire it, you can see that we've got more oxygen coming out than we have volatiles. That means it's not quite balanced. So 27.2. If we now switch it on, oh, it's not far off. A little bit more volatiles burning at the end. I suppose we're putting twice as much in. So that's just the unburnt portion coming out. So that's good. We've causing lots of fires. But that's okay. So now I should be able to fill that up. Oops, no. Fill that up all the way. And you're good, you're charged. Let's let you fill up. Oh. Something doesn't like my frame rate over there. That's okay over here. And why are you not going any further? You do still have volatiles in here. Oh shit, no I don't. I only have enough fuel for one trip. Well, that's not good. I'm going to have to bring that back with a heap of fuel in it. Or maybe if I fill it halfway. So we've still got 14,000 mole in there. So it's not bad. Oh shit. I really wanted to go mine some. To get a trip to mine some volatiles. Not going to happen. Almost there. Okay, we're good. Green and green. Now I think we're all good. I should be able to disconnect you. That should have disconnected all of them. Okay. I should be then able to suck all the gas out of the lines. And they're empty. Gas, liquid, one of those two. I should now be able to say go to orbit, set destination, and fire the engine. Why my scanner's not connected? I forgot to wire them up, didn't I? Son of a... I just launched it. And I missed it. Well, I can't go inside and have a look at that. I haven't hooked up my inside terminal for that, but, well, I've got 1,300 seconds of fuel in there, so I've got tons of fuel. That's not a problem. Got heaps of thrust, so it's getting everywhere it's got to go very quickly. So I guess now we're just going to map the location, despite not having my things attached. So we should chart that by switching on my rocket scanners. Damn it! Got 4 scanners on there, and I can only use 2 of them. Well, that was great use of the fuel, wasn't it? But anyway, we'll do our scanning here. It gives us scan points, and we've got to find these from this. We've got 60 points now out of 100, and we find out what our first target is. This is just a bit of waiting game. That'd be waiting half as long if, well, only 3 of them are scanners. The other ones are mapping things, so. Charted, we have IO. I might just go there. And rocket. Switch on our engine and away we go. 20 seconds to get into the IO orbit. Once again, got 1,300 seconds to go there, so that's not a problem at all. And we're in orbit of IO. Once again, we can chart by switching on our scanners. And away we go. Now I've got two things here. Again, we need 100 points to get the first one, 200 points to see the second one. Tidal fragments. I don't know what that is. Rocks, I imagine. Condensate. That sounds like something we want to see. Let's go there. 12 seconds to get there. Not much fuel being spent. That's okay. We've got it for the mining rocket. Okay, location. We have nitrous oxide. Volatiles. We do have volatiles. Okay, so we want to discover this place and see if we can find some volatiles. Once I've got that, I don't have to mine any volatiles. That would be handy. So it will pull up 9 locations there. We need 100 points to pick up each one, what it looks. We found one location. So we have pollutant. Don't want that. Now we'll only pick up 9 items there, but if you find one that you don't want, you can just delete that one. Yep, and it'll find another 9. And we have another one. We have volatiles. Well, that's what I want. Let's set the destination. 20 seconds to get there. Okay, we have arrived. Now we can survey the area and find out what we've actually got. Location. So we have composition, size, richness. So we've got to get 10 points in our scanning. We get 60 from each one. So we should be able to find the composition and the size from our first scan. Okay, it's volatiles and pollutant. It's a mix. It's not a pure volatiles. So we'll have to separate the two gases after mining them. Size is definitely 2.12. Yes, that is completely meaningful. And we have density and richness, which are definitely numbers. They mean something. Now we can keep scanning here and get it to mine quicker and do that sort of thing, but how badly do I want to do that? We're still 94% on the batteries, so we're doing all right. Tons of fuel. I probably want to bring that fuel back so I can get it in the mining rocket. Then I can build a mining rocket, get some more fuel, so that will be good. But I can't believe that it was like half a tank of fuel. When I do have 2 tanks there. It did drain both of them. Yeah, they are both connected. I can't believe that all fit into one rocket. Anyway, I've got 10% mining boost. I'm probably not going to hang around for the rest of it. So now that we have some volatiles located, let's just bring me rocket back. Set destination, rocket, pump liquid engine. We'll use our automatic landing here. We have a very high landing. Even if we come in at a low altitude there, a low entry burn, we still have a very high chance of landing. I think that's just because it's telling me that because our rocket's pretty lightweight and we have a good thrust, so we've got 18.6 kilonewtons, we need 9.32. So it's just telling us that we got plenty of power. We should be able to do that, not a problem. But where are we? We're 60 seconds away from landing. We're going to Europa orbit. We're almost there. Excellent. Then we can come straight down. We're not going to go back into orbit. We're just going to land, although it doesn't make any difference in fuel. Yeah, so, whoop. Now it's doing the automatic landing, so it's just throttling down the engine, so everything works for us. It'll land itself, not a problem. Screenshot. There we go, like a glove. Now it's done, so I need to unfuel you. If I reconnect the levers, they should be pulling that fuel out back into our tank. So then I can build my other rocket and go and get some of the fuel so I can fly the rockets. Good on that. So I've got to remember to wire up my rockets, my scanners. Yep. You are defueled. I can probably switch you off, shut it all down. So now I just got to build another rocket and go get some fuel. Oh, 14 frames per second. What is going on? I've done well. I deserve a cake. Yes, and I do fill up on cake. It makes me happy, so I don't care. Okay, well, I stink after building that rocket. Oh, no. Carbon dioxide. Okay, so I need to drop a CO2 rock in here. My mushrooms are not doing their job. Work harder, you lot. Make some CO2. But you're good. We found some volatiles to go mine. So I got to build a mining rocket and go and do that. Amy's don't really know what they're doing. They don't have a clue. I shall hook up the rocket terminal upstairs so we can do all our rocketing from inside, and I need to build the other rocket and put up a fueling terminal for it. But yeah, we'll be doing that. Probably most of that in between episodes there, so I can rebuild the fueling system, the ground station, everything for the other rocket, and we should be right to go mining in the next one and see if we can get some fuel. But that's about all we got time for today, so until next time, happy building. See ya.